2026 coming right around the corner, I wanted to make a video going over a year of photography from 2025. I want to go over my top 5 images from the year. I saw a lot of evolution in my work from the beginning of the year, especially within the past 6 months, give or take. And yeah, that's pretty much what today's video is going to be about. I want to clarify that these aren't necessarily my best images subjectively. They might not be everybody's favorite images that I've taken, but they're the ones that resonated with me the most, the ones that I like looking at, and the ones that I have printed on my wall because they're special to me. So without further ado, let's get into the first image. The first image I want to talk about is the cover for Bugle Boys Phases EP that came out recently. This is the full resolution version. Obviously for a cover it has to be 1:1, but I really like the full resolution image, and I took a lot of photos for Bugle Boy and some of his singles this year. I'll show some of them right now. We went out and took a lot of pictures for the cover in Cincinnati. This is the image they ended up picking, and I think it was definitely a great choice. The photo itself was actually pretty underexposed, and I raised the exposure in post, and that is kind of what gave it this really grainy, stylized look that I actually really like. And of course the overview of the city just adds to that, and I think it's just a really great image. So without further ado, let's hop into the second image. This is one of my first attempts at studio photography in my basement. I just purchased the Amaran 150C and the spotlight attachment. I used some of the gobo attachments on there to give this red dots on the image, and then I just used a I forget what light I used. I think I just used a small box light with a blue color. There's something really special about this image for me. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. I think it's the color palette and also just the kind of uncomfortable feeling you get from looking at the image. It's kind of a creepy pose, and it works really well. I ended up calling it Headaches for obvious reasons. And yeah, it stuck with me. I took it in August, I think, and it's stuck with me since. I just framed it recently, and I'm really proud of it. The next photo we're going to talk about is this image I took in Chicago. I was debating on adding this image because of how recent it was, and I haven't had a lot of time to sit with this image, but I really wanted to incorporate a black and white image into my top 5, and also some of my street photography. So yeah, overall, this image, I really like the heavy contrast, the silhouette of the subject, or the co-subjects, I guess. I think the image is framed really well. I like the position of the people. I took a picture of them after the building, and that one just doesn't nearly hit the structure of their faces that you could see pointing towards the subject. Works really well, flows very well, and overall I just really like the look of the image, and I think black and white was the perfect choice for this. Next image I have here is a photo I took in Cincinnati of the bridge crossing into Kentucky. It's the only film photo that I added to this video. In 2024 I started shooting film for the first time, and within 2025 I was trying to incorporate it more into my work and keep a balance between digital and film photography throughout the year. I unfortunately didn't shoot as much film as I wanted to this year. I did take some really incredible images on film, but this one was literally taken on my point and shoot. It's a Canon point and shoot, like $50, but this one's really special to me. I think it works really well compositionally with framing, leading lines. I really like the colors of the image, the glow from the sun on the right side, the leaves, the amount of detail in the image. Literally everything about this image is great to me. Before we get to the last image, I would quickly want to talk about 3 images that didn't make it to the top 5 but were very strong contenders. This first image is a picture of Avery I took. It's a double exposure with one exposure of the moon overlaid on top of the second image that was exposed for Avery, purposely out of focus and with focus on the moon. I really had a lot of fun with this image, shooting it and experimenting with the amount of texture that I wanted to add, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. I definitely want to take a lot more images like this next year, a lot of these colorful, ethereal, dreamy, unrealistic portraits. It's one of my favorite things to shoot, and I definitely want to take a lot more. Next image is a photo of Dylan that I took in my studio. This is a black and white portrait, kind of similar to that ethereal, dreamy-like photo, and I have this one framed. I know he uses this as his profile picture on Instagram, and I think it's just a really simple and well put together image. The last honorable mention I want to talk about is this photo I took of the Grand Tetons. This was my first time going out to the Tetons in Wyoming this year. This was at the entrance of the park and was one of my favorite photos I took the entire trip, and one of my favorite from the year. I really like the composition, the colors, and the feeling that I get from looking at this image and seeing the Tetons for the first time. I mean, it's an incredible feeling, and I couldn't recommend going there enough. The last image I want to talk about is another photo of Dylan that fits into the category of those dreamy portraits I was talking about. This was a long exposure. The shutter was probably 3-4 seconds or something like that, and I just used an external flash that I just flashed multiple times on Dylan to get that overexposed look on his silhouette, and then properly exposed for the background. I really like this image's colors, the composition, and his pose. I think it all works really well together, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's another one that I have framed on my wall here behind me. But yeah, that's just it for 2025. I was really happy with everything I did in photography over the past year, between the 30 days of photography that I did, picking up film photos more, and experimenting with studio photography. I had a really great year, and I saw a lot of growth in my abilities in Lightroom and Photoshop, and I'm super excited for what is to come in 2026. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and until then, make sure you guys go out and make some shit. I'll see you guys.